Hi guys, my name is Cezary Lewczuk and I work as a project manager at Frontend House. My job starts off collecting the requirements for your project. I also work at pre-sale and making sure that the whole process is right. I choose the methodology with the client and obviously with our developers. My job consists of collecting the requirements, like I said, and making sure that they are delivered at the right time and the right scope. If you want to check out more about me and my job, check out this episode of Frontend House Expert Zone. One of the main goals of Project Manager Scrum Master is to bring the project to its goal. A good start is to define the definition of success, which I would like to discuss today with you. On the screen now you can see the old definition of the project success, because it comes from the Project Manager Journal published in 1988. Looking at the points contained in it, we can come to a simple conclusion. Defining the time of implementation, scope of work, budget, target groups and clear business goal in a straight line leads to the satisfaction of the sponsor of the project. And at the same time, it's happy ending. Quite timeless, right? Now let's look on the other side of the coin. In 2017, Project Manager Institute conducted a survey which they asked 3,000 project managers, why did your project fail? Let's look at the top reasoning. Change in organization priorities, inaccurate requirements gathering, change in project objectives, inadequate vision or goal for the project. The element that links the definition of success to this survey is the impact business requirements on the overall implementation of the project. They say there is no wrong way to collect the requirements other than not collecting them at all. An image you probably know well. The basic life cycle of the project. From my experience, in many software houses, startup and corporate cultures, there is a clearly defined boundary between a work of a business and the development team. Statement of work, the document I would like to focus on today, is a kind of an answer to this distinction. Project initiation through the eyes of a project manager, Scrum Master, often begins when the project is handed over to them for the implementation. To show the emphasis of this element, I would like to place us before the project initiation stage. In example, delivery for development. As a business owner of an idea, the concept, turning to the company implementing the product, or as a person responsible for business development at such an early stage of the project's life. To prepare properly to collect the right requirements, you should focus on the first step to prepare the statement of work, collecting the requirements. At the scoping stage, it's good to involve a technical person, possibly a person who will act as the technical leader of the project, and a person responsible for the implementation time, team composition, methodology and project management. Imagine an ordinary doc file. We put in the basic information that we know about the project in a similar way to the project charter, along with an explanation of the keywords, technical names used in the project. Remember to keep this product alive. At the scoping stage, it's good to involve a technical person, possibly a person who will act as the technical leader of it. And the second person is someone responsible for the implementation time, team composition, methodology, project management in general. Imagine an ordinary doc file. We put in the basic information that we know about the project in a similar way to the project charter, along with an explanation of the keywords, technical names used in the project, for example. Remember to keep this document alive. Information during the implementation will flow through various channels. It is important that the person responsible for it takes care of its up-to-date status. The next step is to break the application down into distinctly different components. Here is an example set of questions that I have prepared for our Smart Energy Control product. If you want to know more about it, check the link here. Thanks to the answers to questions such as what is the app supposed to do, who is the default user, how do we want to distribute the application, and do we want to store any data? If we want to, then where and how we secure it. Thanks to these answers, we learned that the installers only use Android systems, in our case scenario. As our target user, we don't need to publish an application for him into the Google Store. We don't have to write a support from the iOS devices, which is pretty cool. The result of our back and forth discussion with the client should be prepared functional requirements, which form a solid background for starting the development process as a milestones or epics. Remember to develop this document also during development. Now, in order to meet the client's needs, which is obviously the implementation of the project within a certain time, a roadmap should be included in this document. The key element in crafting it is cooperation with the client in prioritizing and defining key functionalities. When placing them on the roadmap, to which I encourage you to come back during the demo, release, status meeting, remember to specify the approximate date of the implementation or the order of delivery. Each of the milestones should have a supervisor. Remember that the project is not only development, but it's also graphic, marketing work, copywriting, etc. Can such a document be used in an agile process? Obviously, in Scrum you can use it to create an epics, in Waterfall you can use it to create milestones, or even prioritize the order of your epic, etc. Here, let me show you the programs I used to use to create such a document. First one is a craft.io. It's quite helpful in the first stage when you cooperate a lot with the client. There is not much of internal work here, it's just a back and forth communication and to show the quick ways and the quick view of how we want to deliver the milestones or the requirements. On the other hand, to move the job forward, I used to work on the Smartsheets, like you see here, or even Microsoft projects, which is helpful because the Gantt is, it's pretty cool. All this information should constitute an attachment to the contract with the client and form the basis of requirements in the project. I recommend placing a breakdown of the release plan there. Example, you can split it to the alpha, beta, final release. Remember to include the payment information also. In general, this creates additional value for the client because the document prepared in this way can be used in any way by the client and it's not a part independent of development. While for business, this creates a basis with which the scope of the project will be settled. And what is most important, what will be not delivered. Obviously, this is just a short general treatment of the topic. What's your way of collecting the requirements? Please let me know in the comments. My name is Cezary Lewczuk, I'm a project manager at frontendhouse.com and I hope to hear from you again soon.